Okay, and how does all this help us to understand why we love drugs?
Since evolution does not have the luxury that an engineer has to wipe the slate clean and begin afresh, as the brain evolves new subsystems to control ever more complex behaviors, the new parts have to take into account the existence of the old ones in order to coexist with them in a beneficial way to the organism. And the frontal lobes are no exception to this. So the frontal lobes will reach back with their GABA-firing inhibitory axons and teach the more instinctive parts of the brain
I think
social.
our audience needs a little of translation, with all due GABA respect.
So the neurotransmitter GABA is considered to be the neurotransmitter in charge of inhibition in the brain. If you fire into the dendrites of a neuron, you will usually excite the neuron into firing. However, there's an exception to this, which is firing the GABA neurotransmitter. It will do the opposite. It will inhibit the excitement of the neuron. Okay, so the question that you have posed to me is why neurons? Or maybe if we want to be more dramatic about it, we'll ask it in a different way. Neurons, why? And I would venture to postulate that it has to do with cooperation of multicellular organisms. So if we want to look at evolution in a very in a very long timeline, we can see bacteria existing as prokaryotic, single-celled organisms, every cell for itself, in different environments, grabbing ecological niches that are available until they ran out, and then nothing happened for a long time.
What do you mean when you say an ecological niche? What do you mean?
A puddle at a certain temperature, the edge of a piece of rock on a thermal vent, a rock facing north on a mountainside, a rock facing south. These are very different environments. These are very different habitats. The sun splashes at a different time of day. The sources of energy differ. The winds differ. The conditions differ on the same rock. Different faces, different directions. You'll have it's completely different worlds. You don't actually have to go anywhere in order to experience a very different habitat. Just stay in the same place and wait for night or wait for day. You have very different conditions during the night and the day, and that creates.
Yeah, but it's the same habitat. I mean,
it's not. It's not. It is the same location and a different habitat, which
same
takes
habitat that has certain characteristics.
It's considered different habitats. You will see different organisms active. If you take a glider and glide over the ocean, splash into some point in the ocean and stay there. During the day, you're going to be surrounded with plankton. During the night, that plankton will sink 50 meters down, and you will be in that same piece of ocean all alone. Same location, different habitat. Then a bunch of single-celled organisms came upon the incredible recognition that if they were to give up something for the benefit of their neighbor, then actually they can enjoy a synergistic outcome where the ensuing system is more than the sum of its parts. If I'm one of the bacteria that is the progenitor of the stromatolites in Shark Bay about 3 billion years ago, maybe 2.5, I suddenly come upon this incredible recognition that if I am to actually put away or give away some of my energy in order to create order in the way I discharge my calcium waste, I can create a protective casing for myself and other bacteria. And if they do the same, then what we have is the beginning of a colony where every microorganism does a little bit for the favor of the colony. And together we get a type of behavior that as humans we call cooperation. You can see the same kind of amazing recognition in the protective ball that the volvox grow around themselves. So you've got a bunch of cells, a few hundred cells. And instead of floating in the ocean, they create a ball, which is a membrane that protects them as a group from the outside world. And they, as a single-celled organism, it's strange to give away your energy to something which is according to evolutionary tradition, someone who is not you, or an organism that is not you, is considered the competition. Help the competition? How does that come back to me? Well, it does when you embark on the beginning of the journey towards multicellular life.